your guide to the truth. TheNewAmericanMedia.com.
All right, everybody, we are here in Los Angeles, the City Hall. We are with Elvis Summers. Elvis is a guy that saw something and said something, but he said it to himself and he did something himself, and he's not just passing legislation, he's just doing things. And in turn, some of those things have helped people, and it's kind of got some other people saying, no, not in my backyard, don't do that here. So, Elvis, we just had an event discussing tiny homes for the homeless. Set us up from the beginning. Where did this idea come from?
It came from a woman named Smokey. She's 62 years old and was sleeping in the dirt down the street from my house. She's awesome. You know, she's funny, no filter. She's got a mouth on her, but
our favorite kind of people, generally.
Yeah, you know, but you know, everybody waved to her, hi Smokey, you know, but at nighttime nobody cared. You know, she was sleeping in the dirt, and it just pissed me off. So I decided to build her a tiny house.
And so you decided, you have building experience? How did, like why did, I'm gonna build her a house? How did you become comfortable with that? Is this something you have a background in?
I've done some construction, but one of my talents, I guess, is I'm just really good at figuring things out. I saw some other people building tiny houses, or little huts, you know, as they call them. Man, if I can figure that out, you know, it's, you know, 4 walls and a roof, and you know, some people call it a doghouse or a box, or, you know, call it whatever you want. You know, it's a spaceship, whatever. But you know, it's solid walls that protect you from the elements, you know, and a door with a key that you can lock your stuff up in. You know,
I saw you even put addresses on them so that people could think, this is mine.
Absolutely.
Just that little sense of, this is me, this is, you know, that's a step toward building somebody back up who, you know, let's face it, if you end up homeless, you've had a few things not go your way.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, it's, homeless people are, like, you know, placated as monsters, you know, and they're all drug addicts, and they're all prostitutes. You know, it's, they're just people, and whether they have a drug addiction or prostitute themselves out, or, you know, which is, you know, really kind of one of the only real honest forms of work these days. But, you know,
very similar to government, actually.
You know, I'm
vote Hillary.
You know, but they, you know, they're just people, and you know, and whether they made a wrong turn or not, you know, they're not monsters. They just, you know, they have no home.
Right.
And you know, everybody deserves the right to rest. I mean, since the caves, you know, we've needed shelter.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, one of the biggest uses of torture by the United States military, or through rendition that we outsource into northern African countries, you sleep deprive people. When you start doing that, you really mess with their psyche. You really mess with them as humans on the most basic level. I mean, if you can't recharge the battery, you start functioning at a much lower level than everybody else, and that's why that's been kind of classified in the realm of torture. So you build this house for Smokey. Where does it go? Does it go in a parking spot out front? What happens to the where do you place it?
Well, Smokey's went in the street, and it's, you know, well, up until recently was still there right by my house, but you know, I just didn't have anywhere to put it. And she was the only, you know, homeless person right in my neighborhood, so it was fine. But right away, more homeless people started asking me if I could build them one. And so, you know, when I put a video out and it went viral, and I started getting a lot of, you know, money coming in, I was like, I can do this all day. I'll help people.
Right.
You know, so I started building more, but then it's like, okay, well, you know, I need somewhere to put them. Most of them have just been replacing tents and on sidewalks, and you know, they're never meant to be there. But I'm one guy, you know, working off of crowdfunding, and there's only so much I can do.
Right.
You know, if somebody really rich comes through and hands me resources or money, like, well, I can do a lot.
Well, good luck finding somebody rich out here in Hollywood. Oh wait, they're everywhere. Okay, so you put this out for Smokey. What complaints do you start getting? How long before they start rolling in?
Actually, I didn't really get any. Like, there was well, there were 2. Back up. Everybody else was cool with it. The richest of the 2 gave the most complaints. Imagine that.
And it was the NIMBY thing, not in my backyard.
Yeah, she said one day, you know, that doesn't look very cool in front of my house. I just looked at her and said, your attitude ain't cool anywhere. So, you know, most people have been supportive and about it, and others that don't and have been against it. Let's wait on the fire engine there. It's gonna get louder.
Yeah, but I think adds to the experience. Your homeowners sent out sent out for the resources and the sirens and to come and confiscate the home is essentially where this builds to.
Right.
So,
but the people that are against it, they're just very like they've already made up their mind.
Right.
They're very judging, and they many of them have gone as far as just creating flat out lies. Well, they just stretch
everything you could imagine.
Everything under the sun. You know what I mean? Like babies are going to be raped and buildings will burn and it's like yeah, we're going to eat the babies too. Idiot. Idiocracy. So it's
so then the city comes in and confiscates them, right? Let's pick up the story from there.
They were trying to for a long time.
Okay.
There's actually nothing illegal about them. They can't legally touch them. But they basically broke the law with no due process and just came through and took 3 of them. And I mean, the councilman was there that day. I got him on film. And I even told him, I said, you can't legally touch these. What are you doing? All you can do is make me move them, and I'm here now. I'll move them.
Yeah.
And he refused, and he just says this. I don't know the legalities of this or that. I was like, well, dude, you're the man in charge. And you work for the council. What do you mean you don't know the laws?
Yeah, and specifically, you work for me.
Yeah, right? Which they forget.
The ruling class doesn't see it that way.
Yeah,
We're the unwashed masses, literally.
Yeah, they just said, you know what, we're taking them anyway.
Yeah.
And so they did. But I think somebody finally pointed out that, well, you just busted due process, man. Like, you're screwed. So they quickly created a new section in 5611 ordinance, so they could then give me 24 hours and force me to remove them off of public streets, deeming them as bulky items. They tried to just come out and say they were bulky items last year, and I squashed that right away. And well, they didn't like it, and so they legally made it. Wasted a lot of time and money. All the tax dollars, by the way, our tax dollars are being spent to remove people from them. So the rest of those houses I had to remove were elderly, sick, and veterans, and they did it while they were here giving out the mayor's new $2 billion plan.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Part of and I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to speak to kind of kick things off here at the event.
Yeah,
and kind of the crux of where I was going with this is, all right, I understand from the homeowner's point of view, the not in my backyard thing. Like, all right, there's a problem. Let's come up with a better solution. What did you do? You built them a place. That's a better solution. Now, is it a perfect solution? Like I've heard so many times, this isn't a permanent solution.
It's not meant to be.
It's not meant to be a permanent solution. And where I focus on was the VA that's been horribly mismanaging about 400 acres, 387 to be specific, completely mismanaged. All you need, and correct me if I'm wrong, you need land to put these things, because you're getting crowdsource revenue coming in so that you can continue this project, because it's speaking to people.
Well,
you just need some land, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, land is what I need, and I was getting funds, but when the city changed this ordinance, it kind of stopped me temporarily. Like, now a lot of people are going, well, why am I going to give you money if the city's just going to destroy them?
Right.
I keep trying to get it out there that because I'm going to buy land with it, so I then can continue.
So where are you at in that process? That's a good idea. Why wait for the VA that moves at the pace of government, and they let vets die on secret waiting lists?
Right.
They don't answer the suicide hotlines, and people are dying.
Yeah. Which, by the way, all that land you're talking about is more than enough for a tiny house for every single vet on the streets here in the entire county. There's enough room there, and correct me if I'm wrong, but that would be right next to every possible service that they need.
Yeah.
Bathroom, showers, medical.
Psych evaluation, medicine, all of the treatment that people would need. And not every homeless person is a veteran, of course, but there's a significant percentage of homeless people who are suffering from PTSD, who have medical issues. They're not as ambulatory as they used to be, and it's a perfect solution in theory. And I think that's what we need right now is some solutions, some ideas, some creative thinking.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stories,
stuff, and that's why I'm a pen right across your shoulder here. But I mean, you look at these open spaces of land. You look at these areas where over on the side you'll see porta potties, you'll see hand washing facilities, and it wouldn't be too tough to add some places for people to shower and whatnot. You put up just like they just did. Since we've been speaking, they erected that fence. That wasn't there before.
No, it wasn't there this morning.
No, it wasn't. And You could build one of these temporary fences on the VA grounds and put some people in there and keep some security. A security guard to make sure everything's under control. There's one idea to try. You
could put a couple security guards in there that are homeless veterans that aren't
and
so
give
disabled.
them a paycheck.
Oh my God, they'd have to pay taxes. That means the city would make money.
Who knows more about personal security and group security than our veterans, of course.
Right? But listen, I gotta.
Yeah, tell us about the land.
I gotta wrap it up.
Yeah, tell us about the land real quick. Where you're going from here and where people can stay in touch.
Well, from the start till now, man, it's we build small communities. Community gardens that benefit the entire community. $2 pack of seeds can feed dozens of people for months. And I mean, literally, poke a hole in the dirt, drop a seed, give it a little water every day. It's that simple. Yes, you can get a little more involved, but community showers and bathrooms and laundry. All the normal stuff that people need to fix their lives up. But put them in a tiny house with all these things that they need. Then the services could come to them. They can get themselves sober, get themselves, resume training, medications, the help that they need, but with dignity on their own terms and off the streets. The streets are clean. The homeless can have jobs and a place to stay temporarily as a bridge from the gutter to permanent housing, because that is what it is.
And that would in turn end up reducing the amount of complaints from neighbors. It's a win-win if we all come together and find some sort of options.
Absolutely.
To try.
Take all the garbage that they complain about, the collections. It's not their garbage. I mean, it's really not. Like, think about it. You have to have a job and money to consume to buy shit.
Yeah.
And then it's the good citizens. All the assholes that are complaining, it's their garbage. But they blame it on the homeless that they're collecting all this crap and garbage. They illegally dump it because they don't want to pay for it or take it to the dump. So they put it on the corner. Well, the homeless have nothing to do and they collect it, Stop chastising them, encourage it. Open up one of the hundreds of vacant warehouses that you have and set up shop like Habitat for Humanity does.
Yeah.
Give them jobs to go out and collect the garbage. But as long as it's, stuff that, can be fixed up. Fix it up, sell it secondhand. A lot of the homeless do that anyway. They sell it secondhand back to the neighbors just to get food, But do that in a shop, and you already own the property. It's not going to cost you anything, But give them a job doing that. Then, they're making a paycheck. The city's making money. They're paying taxes. They have a place to live. The streets are clean. It's a win-win.
Give people your website. Or however people find you.
Yeah, you can just Google my name, Elvis Summers. You find everything. Every news report you want to see, video, the GoFundMes to make a donation if you can, because I need land and I need money to keep taking care of these people. You'll find it all. But otherwise, www.mythpla, it's like the word myth, MYTHPLA, .org. And it's like an acronym, My Tiny House Project LA.
Oh, excellent. Elvis, thanks for the work that you're doing.
Thank you.
And if nothing else, what you've done, it's highlighted a problem that we have, and now it's pushing for, okay, if this isn't perfect, work with us. Let's get something a little bit better.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what we should be doing as a country and on the individual level like you've already done, man. Thanks for your work, and thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Your guide to the truth. The new AmericanMedia.com.
And this is John B. Wells reminding you that not only is Brian Engelman a cool guy, and not only is the new AmericanMedia.com a very cool platform, but here's a cool idea for you, too. Are you alone? Not really. Do you like dogs? Do you like cats? You do. Of course you do. Everybody does. One or the other, maybe even both. There are a lot of dogs and cats that are at shelters right now, and if somebody doesn't take them home, they're going to wind up euthanized. That's a nice way of saying they're going to be killed, because there's simply not enough room. I guarantee it, the best dogs and the best cats, the best pets, come from shelters. There's something about dogs and cats. They know. They know where they are. You walk through one of them, and certainly at least one is going to look at you and go, I wish you'd take me home. I'm in hell. Please take me out of here. It'll be the best thing that you ever did for your soul. You'll feel good about it. And not only that, but you have a friend for life. Doesn't matter if you got money, you don't have money. Well, it doesn't make any difference to a dog or cat. All they need is the sound of your voice and maybe even the stroke of your hand, and they're fine. Maybe a little food every once in a while. The sweetest sound that those pets ever hear is your voice. Think it over and adopt a cat or a dog from a local shelter today. I'm telling you, you'll be glad you did.